hire Bob Myers, special consultant.
They're taking advantage of the fact that players and celebrities are public figures, and they're.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football, and we were back on this Saturday morning. Hallelujah! Good to see all of you. You see who I'm with. Denver's finest, living in Chicago, my partner and host of Mile High Minute, Tina Winter. What up, Tina?
Very good. Every week. Love your intros. Nothing much. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. So let's talk some football here. All right. So today we've got a few things we're going to talk with you guys and hopefully others. And we're going to go into some current player news. We're also going to talk about some free agents that might be returning home, might be returning to an older team, might be returning to what, their 14th team? And in a throwback to the show that I do called Mile High Minute with my buds from my Broncos fandom, we are going to do a good, bad, and ugly and discuss who we think meet those different points in the new NFL coaches. So, and also pay attention because we're going to have a little trivia for you heading into our break. So at this point, I'm going to throw it back to Sean, and he's going to start us out with some current player news.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tina. So happy to be here with you. Hey, and we're going to start right off talking about a local legend, Patrick Peterson, set to retire as a Cardinal after playing 13 years in the NFL, 8-time Pro Bowler, a couple times he was an All-Pro. I mean, this guy in his rookie season tied the record for most punt returns in a season with 4. He ended his career 649 tackles, 36 interceptions, including 2 pick sixes, 122 pass breakups, and 12 fumble recoveries. He's moved around the league. He went to, I think, Minnesota. I know recently he was at Pittsburgh, and I think he kind of, hasn't played since about 2023, but wanted to return to the place that he first started. So Patrick Peterson will retire as a Cardinal. And Tina, I mean, we've all heard this guy's name. He's definitely one of those guys that's in the category, like your guy, Patrick Surtain, in the fact that he's a shutdown corner. He takes away the best receiver on the field. I mean, one of the things I've always thought about Patrick Peterson, he's kind of like the new corner, bigger, more brash, more shut. Like he will literally envelop that whole side of the field, that whatever that receiver is, and he'll take them away, man. So this is great that he's going back to his own place to retire, but he will be missed. Great player.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the best cornerbacks are actually just dark-sided wide receivers. They know how to play the wide receiver position. They know how to get in their heads. They know they think like them. They can walk the walk and talk the talk. They just like playing defense. They're better at getting the ball out of your hands than they are at catching the ball.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
You know what? There's been some talk about Denver trying to pick up Vaughn. I do like it when teams go back to the teams they started with and being like, I want to finish out my career here. So you guys gave me a shot. Let me come back. And the Cardinals need it. In that division, there's a lot of speedsters. So you do need a shutdown corner. So that's a good move.
And we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, hopefully. I don't know if he's gonna come back and play, but I know
play one day.
Right, that's the thing. Yeah, maybe they just give him the honorary jersey and say, "Here you go," and we'll see. I would, but to your point, yeah, they absolutely need it in that division. But at the same time, I wonder, have his years passed him? Because over the years, the play has kind of fallen off. As we know, it tends to happen. These guys get a little bit older. I think he's 34 years old, 35 now. So, can't stay amazing forever.
Jerry Rice came to us, didn't even make it out of the preseason, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Right. So, I mean, it's a good look. And a lot of times, people will look at a player from their past glory Like when Jordan came to Washington Wizards, it was like, oh my God, we're getting Michael Jordan. And then you see him play, and it's like, oh my God, we got Michael Jordan.
And then
Just
he
not.
came back at number 45.
Oh, well, yeah. We're not going to go after baseball and all this.
Him off 45, 8, 23.
For the daggone White Sox too. Not even oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But look, let's go ahead and move on.
Move on.
Talking about players that might not play in the 2025 season. Tina, I'm going to come to you. Derek Carr might be sidelined in the 2025 season due to a shoulder injury. As you know, he was out 7 games last year due to an oblique injury. And I gotta be honest with you. You know, after getting him a year ago, I mean, the Saints really, this is a lemon. They're not getting what they paid for, and it's kind of the writings on the wall. Obviously, Kellen Moore is taking the Saints' job, and he's not 100% sold in this direction. So much so that they converted part of his salary to his signing bonus. So with the draft coming up, I mean, are the Saints looking to move on? Is it worth it to keep Carr? Like, what do you think?
Well, you have to, because this should come up, because one of the shows that I was listening to, they were talking about like who had done and who hadn't done something. And they talked about the fact that the Saints didn't get into the free agent market for a quarterback because Carr hadn't quite worked out. He wasn't doing which is sad for me because I saw that man play in his prime and he's really good.
Oh yeah.
I wanted him. I was like, let's get him.
Yeah.
He's better than what we had, but the Saints can't because of their salary cap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, they're going to have to go to their backup, which I forget who that kid is.
Spencer Rattler and Jake Hayner, 2 guys that were rookies last year.
He destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, the Saints are just in a bad situation with their salary cap. And from what I understand, they're almost always in this. They usually have a salary cap problem, but they just couldn't go out and get him. Now they have some money, so let's see what they do with the draft. And I also think Kellen Moore is in the same situation that Sean Payton was in, that he's got certain players he can't move pieces around because of salary cap issues. And he's going to deal with what he has. He's going to see what works, what doesn't work. And then next year, I have a feeling, Carr's turning into a broken record. And no quotes around that broken. He's broken. He took some beatings. He took a lot of stuff, and he's getting older too. So it's just the injuries are catching up to him. So. And
unfortunately, like you said, like you alluded to, he is getting older, and he is in that category of quarterbacks that you start to ask that question. Is it time for them to move on? I mean, we're becoming a league where younger quarterbacks are having greater success. You think about the 2 guys that are potentially coming in this year, the 6 guys that came in last year. How many of those guys are starting? Nix, Caleb Williams, JD5, Penix. We know Kirk Cousins isn't for sure out there, so Penix might be starting out there. So you got a lot of these younger quarterbacks coming up, and at the end of the day, what my coach always told me is the best ability is availability. So if you can't get on the field, can't justify that contract. We're going to see what happens with Carr and where he goes and if he can make a resurgence or if it is time for him to hang it up. Because to your point, we'll discuss this later, what Kellen Moore is walking into in New Orleans, not pretty. Downright ugly, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Almost all the new coaches are not walking into pretty situations. You don't walk into a great situation in the NFL.
Right. Now we will say one set of fans thinks that their coach is walking into a great situation, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Tina, I'm going to come to you on this one. We had a couple of free agent signings, a couple of extensions, but I think the theme is everybody came back home. What you got for us?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's start with Mr. Flacco, the one that the Browns thought was going to take them through the postseason a couple of years ago.
Playoffs.
Mr. Flacco, Joe Flacco, is coming back to Cleveland for, what was it, $4 million? Something like that?
1 year deal.
Deshaun Watson, they're not sure if he's going to be healthy or not. So they had to bring in a backup quarterback. Other than Jameis is gone, so
Hmm.
you got to bring somebody back in. Why not bring in Flacco? Now, I personally think Flacco doesn't add anything, but that's because my team got burned. But I don't know what you think.
Look, at the end of the day, we all know the stories about what 2 years ago. Flacco 1 week is sitting on his couch at home watching TV, and the next week he gets called and he's playing, and somehow he leads that dysfunctional Browns team to the playoffs, albeit they got whooped by the Texans in the first round. It's just a great story. So at this point, for me, I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, Flacco, go ahead and collect the check, man. 4 million. I'm not getting 4 million. Go ahead and collect the check. And we talked about it over the last couple weeks when we talked about, is Kirk, he's eating Chipotle in Cleveland. Is he going to Cleveland? We talked about kind of this stuff. They need a stabilizing force. They need something that's going to provide some kind of stability. Yeah.
Because
Now,
Miles can't do everything.
right. Now, I wonder, because I think there was a rumor out that Miles, the reason he came back is because they said they were going to get a quarterback. I hope this ain't the quarterback they were talking about. We're bringing back Joe Flacco. I don't think Miles is signing on the dotted line for Joe Flacco, but
No,
that's just me.
Yeah, probably more than likely they couldn't get who they wanted, but
Yeah.
I mean, because you got the Deshaun Watson situation.
Yeah.
Nobody. We've talked about him a number of times, and I'm always going to start acting like he's Voldemort and say he who shall not be named is not going to come to Cleveland.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
They can afford it. But and the rest of them, Flacco's almost the same as the rest of them. So, and you could probably get him a little cheaper after Richardson actually ended up stepping up a little bit in Indy and showing that he's got some potential there. He's not there yet.
Right. He's better than Flacco. He's better than Flacco. Let's say that, because by the stats, he's still not there. But to your point, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. Look, let's move on to a quarterback that used to have that likes to dance on the sidelines and likes to do all this stuff. Not a lot. Exactly. Not a lot. Yeah, that guy. Talk to us about him.
Oh, he's going back to Seattle. Got all of you we got. I mean, he's another one that had a lot of his potential, and he's such a maverick in a way.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't play the way people think he's going to play, and he sorry.
Yeah, he does choke. He does choke. Yes.
Yeah.
As an accurate description. Yes, Tina. Right on time.
He also makes horrible decisions.
He does.
And that's ultimately what got him burned in Denver with Vic Fangio, is some horrible decisions a horrible decision he led on. But he's just not beefing up, and with the Giants bringing in a couple, there's no room for him. So,
I mean, he was in that QB carousel last year with, I think, Daniel Jones when he was still there, and then who's the other guy that
good games with them,
right?
But it just didn't take off. Well,
nothing took off.
Is it him, or is it your supporting cast?
Right. He might have just been the casualty to all of that. But to your point, I mean, he's been at different places and he's had flashes. Excuse me, he had flashes in the pan, but he's never been able to sustain consistent success like he had when he was back at, I believe, Missouri in college. So it kind of it stinks. But then we talk about him leaving one crowded quarterback room, and then he's now coming to another. You got Sam Darnold that came there. Sam Howell has been sitting there, my guy from North Carolina and from Washington. And then you also got, I think, Jaron Hall, quarterback from BYU a couple years ago. So, he's going to have to beat them out. I think, to his credit, outside of Sam Darnold, I think he has the most experience in that room. Right. But it's not saying much when you got two guys that one's a rookie and one's been in there mainly backing up for most of his career,
I mean,
Oh.
maybe he'll turn into the journeyman, like the next man we're going to talk about, Mr. Josh Johnson.
Yes,
He's
go
coming
ahead.
back to you.
Come on home.
Yep.
I feel like this guy is the epitome of the song "Been Around the World" and I I just can't find my team yet. You know, it's just
Well, it's so
everywhere.
good. I was going to say he's the rubber band man because he
Yep.
like goes out and he comes back.
Zoop, zoop, zoop. So Tina, how many teams? And we've seen it this week, as they said he
14
reset.
teams.
What?
Yeah, something like that. And I'm not even counting the XFL, CFL, or what the other teams that he's been
Right,
on.
right.
So yeah, this is his second time coming back to the Commanders. He's been at the 49ers 4 times.
Mm. Mm.
And essentially, if you look at his thing, he's good for a year and they get rid of him.
And then he's gone. Yeah. And if you remember
When he was
correctly,
at Denver, he actually almost beat out Drew Lock. It was looking like he
Speaking of
was
Drew Lock.
going to take the position there.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he fizzled after the first game. So, like, someone else had it. So, I don't know. But you know what? The man's making money.
He is. I mean, we got to shout this guy out. A couple
Yeah.
years back, when he was in San Francisco, he backed up Purdy. Purdy goes down with the elbow injury in the championship. Josh Johnson ends up starting for them in the championship. Now, it did get so bad that they had to take Josh Johnson out, and McCaffrey was taking some snaps at QB, but he still was there. He was there, so I gotta show him love for that. I gotta show him love.
Yeah. I mean, he's working the system, and sorry, my mom was just asking.
Oh yeah.
Was it
Hey!
not in my head? No. He knows how to do it. He knows what his skills are, and he knows what he can bring to a team. But
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. The man needs to retire.
But at the same time, if you are going to consistently pay me,
35.
he's up there. He's been in the league since 08. I mean, come
Yeah.
on now, that's almost 20 years. But what does that say though? You've been in the league for 20 years. Somebody will draft. I mean, Carson Wentz. Look at him.
In his 40s, so it's even
Huh?
worse.
Yeah.
If he's been in the league for 20 years and he signed up as a 22-year-old, he's in his 40s.
He's up there. Check that number because he's up there.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm
about to say, I think because he came in the league, I believe in 08, and now it being 25. That's what, 17 years?
39, 40. Yeah.
Jeez. And still getting contract, man. Go ahead. I see you, Josh Johnson.
He 38 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
He's
think about it
38
this way. If all you have to do each year is hold a clipboard.
And tell the
I
guy
can do
what
that.
to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Good call.
Well,
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Here, I'll give you some more. I'll give you some Gatorade. Here you go, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's getting out there. It's not like he's
No.
getting on the field. Oh,
No.
man. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, that was just a couple of the free agent signings, and we hope that you like that. We're going to go to a quick break, but before we do, we have a new segment that we're going to do right around the commercial, and it's called You Make the Call. Tina, explain a little bit about this segment.
Okay. We're going to give you a scenario and we're going to tell you guys, you tell us which one you think in this case is true. And we will explain it on the flip side. What is the correct? Going forward, it could be anything, and that's what it is. Like this week's choices are the tush push was banned. There was a change to the kickoff rule, or we're going to have a loss of the onside kick going forward in the 2025 playing season. So let us know which one you think is the one that's true, and we'll explain it on the flip side.
Be right back. Yeah, buddy. And that was my guy, Anton Benton, host of Awesome Artisans. Definitely check him out. He lives in the Virginia Beach area, but he will travel up and down the East Coast, and he will even go out to the Midwest. So before we went to commercial, we hit you with our new segment called "You Make the Call," where we give you a trivia question or some kind of question that's going on with something currently in the NFL, and we ask you to make the call. So we send it back to Tina this week. This was our question.
Um, the correct one is there's going to be a change to the kickoff rules. So
Hmm.
they made the changes in 2024 to the kickoff to make it safer. They're going to be keeping most of those rules in place, except they're making one change. If you kick the ball into the end zone, then the ball is not going to be going to the 30 anymore. It's going to be going to the 35-yard line. So
Mm-hmm.
you're losing 5 yards if you decide you don't want to have them try to kick the ball. You kick it straight in. This is a rule I think it's going to fluctuate every year. I
Mm-hmm.
personally don't think the 35-yard line is hard enough.
Mm-mm. Keep going.
I think it should be the 40 or the 45.
Keep going.
I would go with the
That
45. Like you
that
want
will
to make
truly.
this, you want to make it so problematic for someone. You want to make it like you get the ball at the third 45-yard line. They essentially only have half the field to go.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh yeah.
want to
You
make
talk about
it
change of
hurt
field
for that
position.
team. I think the reason why a lot of teams aren't doing it is you and I have talked about this offline. Like the kickers they've been bringing in the kickers with the big booming legs that can
Yes.
kick the
Yes.
ball really far,
Yeah.
and not having people that are precise kickers. And
Yeah.
so, and at the 30-yard line, it's like as if it wasn't, but it was. It's like as it has been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
If it hits the end zone, you come to the 30. That's where it was before.
Mm.
Man, it might have been at the 25. I can't
I think
remember.
25 at one point when they moved it up, but still,
Yeah,
still.
it's
I mean,
yeah. You just you need to make it hurt for
yeah.
them not to put it in the landing zone.
Right.
So, but these changes have increased the kickoff returns by 10%.
Which is good.
So, and no injuries this year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that's
yep,
huge.
yep.
So if you look at it from that perspective, where it's if this is what the league wanted to eliminate the injuries, good for that. So I'll kudos for that. I still think it's funky looking at it, and the guys can't move until the kid. But
It's here to
yeah,
stay. It's
yeah,
not going to change. I think what's going to happen is you're going to have now start having more and more teams that now
hmm
they understand how it works. They're going to start thinking strategy
yeah, yeah,
and all of that. And you can get the ball back. I mean, if you can get through that line, you're you're good to go. So yeah, I'm actually kind of excited because Darren Rizzi now is our special teams coordinator.
oh yeah,
He's the one that put forth these rules,
uh huh,
and I'm interesting to see what he's gonna do with Denver on
yeah.
that, and especially Mr. Mims. I think Mr. Mims might finally get his kickoff touchdown.
This year is it finally coming? Is it finally coming to
I'm
pass?
hoping. I'm hoping. I'm hoping and
Look,
praying.
I'll say one thing. I hope your guys are listening to Mr. Rizzy because if you cross him, he's showing you on live TV. He will chew you out. No question. No
Well,
question about it.
Sean's already shown that too. So,
Right.
like,
That's probably why he wants him in house. He's like, oh, this is my guy. I love
yeah,
it. I
this is
love
my
it.
guy.
So look, like
Um,
like Tina alluded to, this is not the only question we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing this going forward.
Yeah. It could be anything. The idea is going to be is I'm probably going to be looking for some kind of controversial call. It
Hmm.
could be a pass interference. It could be a face mask. It could be something controversial so we can kind of talk about what we've talked about in the past. We'll
Yeah.
throw it out to you guys, get a video clip, throw it out to you guys, and have you guys say what it is. And then I can explain why the league says it's this way.
Yeah.
Um, because we've talked about this. We've talked about the personal injury calls and how they're supposed to happen and like what holding is and all of the elements that go into it. So it's going to be a night, and I'm not going to lie, I want to do it because I want to see what people say, because
Yes.
controversial because they affect a game or because people they don't understand how the rule has changed.
Yes. Yes. That's the key. Number one thing we want to do here is educate y'all on this game that we love, because when y'all are here yelling at the TV screen like, why do they do that? And we don't mean to, but sometimes we have to say, because it's in the rule books. This is kind
Yeah.
of how it is. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
this
about
was changed 5 years ago.
that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for all those
Come on.
Chiefs fans out there,
Oh,
I don't care. I'm not showing the clip of Mr. Mahomes getting the hand in the face during the Super Bowl. He'd gotten
hey.
enough of those that he shouldn't have gotten. Getting one not called,
Look,
I'm fine.
and look, what was the score at that point in the game? Did that matter? No, it didn't matter.
No, it
Get
shouldn't
out of
matter.
here, Chiefs fans. Get out of here. Look, we got to move on. We got one more segment before we get out of here, and I'm going to let my partner host it because it's a little more familiar to her. What you got,
Yes.
Tina?
Yeah, for those that haven't seen Mile High Minute, me and my buddies do pretty much every game, after every game, we do a section that's called the good, bad, and the ugly.
Mm.
And so we go through and we talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and what just was like bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I will lead this one off with the good, and we alluded into it. The topic on this one, normally we just talk about whatever we want to talk about that we saw in the game, but we're going to do this one. You and I are going to talk about the new NFL coaches
Mm-hmm.
that are coming into the teams. And as we know from watching football, anytime you have a new coach, none of it's pretty coming in, because you're not getting a new coach because you did well.
Right.
You're getting a new
Right.
coach. The wheels came off the bus.
Yeah.
Like,
Mayday!
yep, yeah. The plane's going down. You lost your pilot. You're
Mhm.
asking to see, does anyone know how to fly a plane type situation, so you don't crash and burn.
Mhm.
So we're going to start with the good, and I will start with mine, which is a tie.
Mhm.
My tie is Ben Johnson for the Bears and Mike Vrabel with the Patriots. Ben Johnson's the team went out, got the people he wanted, fixed up their offensive line. They got a lot of pieces in place that I think will help that team a lot, because Kalen needed some offensive line help. He definitely needed that. So
Mhm.
I think Ben Johnson is walking into a pretty good situation. And then the other one is Mike Vrabel, which I do think the Patriots did better this last year. And so hopefully Mike is the cog in the wheel that gets all the pieces working together correctly. And this feels weird coming out of my mouth. The Patriots can maybe rise to the top of the division again. So we'll see.
Baby. Yes. Hey, I love that pick
Alcohol to
because
rub out, clean out my mouth.
right. I love that pick because I totally agree. I think they got their quarterback and now they're starting to make other moves. Oh man, what's up, Handy? Puka, Mr. Spencer. Good morning. Good morning to you. Yeah, no, I
Right,
love that. I love that for them, and just the fact that you're getting one of Belichick's guys in Vrabel coming back, 3-time Super Bowl champ over there, and all that good stuff. So, hi,
Come here, Mom.
mom. Yeah,
Yeah, those aren't. I'm in a hotel room with my mom. My mom just handed me
nice.
this.
That was it, Mr. Yeah.
Well, she said clean out her mouth.
Right. Always ready. See that? She's always ready. Let's go. Oh man, yo, real quick, I agree with yeah, I agree with you with Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson's a great pick for Chicago. I do want to caution Chicago fans that just because you got a great head coach doesn't mean everything's gonna come to fruition right away. Like you still got to build things up. And I know the moves they've made have been great, so I love that pick, and I think that of all these picks, I think that's one of the best for me as far as good. And I know this My partner's gonna be a little uneasy about this. But I got to go in her division, the AFC West. Let's go. Pete Carroll bringing his quarterback, Geno Smith, to the Raiders. They signed linebacker Devin White. They signed, Raheem Mostert on a running game. They got a couple pieces here and there. I think, what do they have, the 6th pick of the draft? So maybe a running back might be in their future. Oh, I think this is big moves. From a dumpster fire to the top of the mountain. I believe it. I believe it. That's my good this week.
You still have to put out the fire.
Yeah. Sometimes we can just ride the fire. Look, we can just ride the heat. Let's go, the heat wave. Oh, Tina, who's your bad? Who you got? Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, you're wearing the color. You're wearing black. I mean, come on, Raiders.
There's no silver on here. It's
There you go.
just black.
There you go. I can dig it.
My bad. I said something else earlier, but I remembered it. The Jaguars. That's
Ooh.
just, you want to talk about a dumpster.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's the Jags. Like, they got rid of almost everybody that was good.
Yeah.
Like, they're starting at the beginning. I feel so sorry for Trevor Lawrence in that situation, but you know, and maybe they can turn it around. Hopefully they can, because that team was cranking for a while, and it's just not a. So yeah, my bad is the Jags. There's nothing there. There's nothing really. It's not quite ugly. Ugly for me is a little bit different, but it's just not
good.
I mean, the Jags are what we looked like with Sean Payton. Like, how are we going to get that?
Right. Yeah, I forgot. I completely had forgotten about the Jags. Ooh, and we don't even know if Lawrence
is.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah.
For me, my bad. I'm staying in division. Because genuinely, I just think this team didn't do anything good. This is not even my Washington bias, but it's the Cowboys, and they signed Brian Schottenheimer. And we all know that Jerry Jones wants some guy that he can kind of control. But there was so many rumors about Dion potentially coming. He wants to get Shedeur Sanders, and they want to bring them to Dallas and X, Y, and Z. And to go from all that hype to then just give us Brian Schottenheimer? Come on now. If you needed any other reason to doubt or question that all Jerry Jones wants is somebody that's going to come kiss the ring, you don't need anything else, right? This is it. Brian Schottenheimer. You had more picks more coaches that you could have looked at, and the fact that you went and made this move just let me know that you wanted another Jason Garrett, another Mike McCarthy, another person that's going to say yes, boss, what you need me to do, and he's just the person there. But Jerry's running the team, so that's bad for me. It's good because it's like in division.
Jerry putzed around so long trying to decide whether he was going to give the extension or not, and he ran out of the higher caliber candidates.
Yeah,
and as Mr. Dinklage says, it's a hot mess.
Hot mess.
They're a hot mess. So,
well, not that hot. Talk about a real hot mess, Tina.
What's your ugly?
Oh, my ugly is a team we talked about. The New Orleans Saints. Lord Jesus. I got to hold the nose for this one. Listen, I apologize to our dear friend Nicole that lives in Canada, the diehard Saints fan, but I thought they were a hot mess before. But now when we're hearing Derek Carr might potentially sit out the season with a shoulder injury, and you're working with a Spencer Rattler or a Jake Haener at quarterback, we all know years ago Michael Thomas was the slant king and this great wide receiver. He's not there anymore. Cam Jordan, he's trying to figure out, do I want to stay? Do I want to go? I think they actually had some life pumped into him at the end of last year with your boy Rizzy, and then he left. You talk about just totally tearing it down and building back up from the studs. Like, I think that's this situation in New Orleans, and I feel for them. But I think that's way ugly. What you got?
The Jets is my ugly.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Glenn probably could do a good job there, but there's rumors coming out that they're trying to trade Bryce Hall or Garrett Wilson.
Really?
Yeah, and like you can't get rid of those guys. You can't. If
Yeah.
you do that, you're taking out his offense from it.
Hmm.
Those are the good pieces. They could get rid of Sauce Gardner, and I wouldn't care.
Ah, Sauce is a stud. PS2 Sauce. Let's go.
Numbers aren't there.
Let.
Numbers
Oh my
are
goodness.
not there.
Let's go to the videotape, Tina. Let's go to the videotape.
Oh, I'll take that one to the tape.
Let's go. Oh, I love it.
Remember, likes to pull on jerseys.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just because PS2 gets away with it and nobody sees it doesn't mean you don't do it. That's all I'm saying. We won't agree, and that's fine. That just like that Raiders. Look, she wasn't gonna let me say anything about PS2. She let me get away with the Raiders conversation. She wasn't gonna let me get away with that.
All cornerbacks pull jerseys. Sauce just doesn't do it subtle enough.
There you go. There you go. There you go. He likes that. He likes to bring them all the way. You know, it's all good.
Like, you could see pads. If you could
Hey,
see
hey,
the pads, like
if they don't
how
call
is
it,
that not a call.
if they don't call it, I can't say anything. I'll just go. But yeah, I totally agree. I just
Old
think that I like
argument between us.
right. I agree. I think that I wish the best for Aaron Glenn and for Justin Fields, but Aaron couldn't get it done. Zach Wilson couldn't get it done. Robert Salah, like dumpster fire. This is just perpetual, gasoline being poured on it, and it's just fire starter. It's just crazy.
Well, they had Aaron, and they're like, oh well, he'll be great with Mr. Idiot who came over from the Broncos, and he got demoted, and he wasn't the offensive coordinator anymore. I'm not going to say his name because that just
Hmm.
gives him power.
Hmm.
And like they're starting over and everything, and it's not a good situation
It
there.
really isn't.
And Fields, you know what? I hope Fields does something good there
Same here.
because I think he did get a bit of the shaft
Yep.
at the Bears. I love my Bear friend fans, but your team did nothing when they got him.
Yep.
They didn't do anything to help him out, and as far as the offensive line. So then 2 years later, they go and they get the next number one pick. Like, okay, finally they're learning, but.
Hmm.
I mean, considering what Fields did in the first half of the season with the Steelers before he got injured and they had to bring in Mr.
Wait,
Wilson.
did he even get injured? I
Oh,
just
no,
think
that's
they
right.
just
They just
benched
pulled
him.
him. They just
Yeah.
benched him because,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, he only won a game by
Yeah,
like
he
a
won.
touchdown.
They were 4-2. Like they
I
were
know.
like what?
Like, yeah,
Whatever.
like that was
Pittsburgh,
like, Tomlin, you're supposed to be this great genius. What the hell are you doing?
right?
Wilson didn't add anything, though they still made the playoffs. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, I just think it's you don't give away your team to make it better because you're just adding pain on top of what's already going on. Don't give
yeah.
away Hall or Wilson. Like in our bad years, people were talking about. You mentioned my boy PS2, and they wanted to give him. They wanted to trade him to get offensive help, and I'm like, no, you don't give away generational talent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just don't
So,
do that. You don't do that. Oh
I,
me, oh my.
oh, Dinklage, you're cracking me up.
This guy. This guy. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna have to let you guys go. This has been Let's Talk Football Breaking News. Myself, Tina Winter. And hey, join us next week when we bring you some more new ins and outs, talk a little bit of the rule changes, get closer to the NFL draft, which will be, I think we're about 2 weeks out at the moment. So definitely tune in, see what we got, see what you got, add to the conversation, because there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of back and forth as well. Because this
Yeah,
one over
we're
here,
also going to maybe dig into some possibilities about going to 18 or 20 games in the season and extending it. And I've never been a fan of it
nope.
because I think it puts too much pressure on the team, on the players, and too many injuries. But I saw a proposal that I think might be a good possibility. So we'll talk about that one with some ideas, and it would extend the season a lot longer.
A
So
lot. I
yeah,
don't know how we're
so
feeling about
those of
that.
us that are football fans will enjoy that.
We will. We will.
Players may not agree.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But look, we gotta head out of here for the lovely Miss Tina Winter, your boy
And Mr.
Sean
Sean
Spencer.
Spencer, the
Yeah,
intro
buddy.
maestro.
Yes. We will see you guys next time. Yeah. Thank you guys in the comments for watching. I know Eric was in the comment. My boy Edwin, Dinklage, as you like to call him, Anthony Handy was here checking us out. Tune in to all the things we got coming up this week. And until then, we'll see you next time. Peace, people.
Washington had no hesitation this offseason. They hired Bob Myers, the special consultant.
They're taking advantage of the fact that players with celebrity involvement are public figures,